For this exercise, you'll need a couple pairs of needle nose pliers, a small and a big one, or if you got two small ones, that'll work best. A couple flathead standard screwdrivers, a couple Phillips screwdrivers, and then a T25 Torx bit. And then I have this box cutter. I use the razor blade as a pick to pick out some of the screw covers. Okay, so for removing your seat, first thing you do, well actually the first thing you do, slide the seat all the way forward. Pop open your back seat door. I know you can't see real well. And you pull off these things, the little guardrails. They got one screw on the top. Then you lift them up, slide them forward, and you pull it off. And then you slide your seat all the way back, as far as it goes, so that you can see that. What you do is you loosen these two nuts, or some cars have Torx bits, and then you squeeze this little plastic thing with some needle nose, and then you lift up and slide the seat back out of that latch. Then when you're under the seat, you'll see a bunch of electrical connectors. You have to disconnect all of them. The green one and the yellow one that's most this way are, you just kind of pinch them and you pull them out. The one that is the closest to the center of the car, this is the driver's side, is the airbag connector. That connector has a lock on the top, so you have to push that up, and then there's another tab in there that you have to push down and pull out. But that connector, the lock, prevents you from going all the way up while it's still attached, so you can slide the connector forward out of the white harness, and then, or the white bracket, and then you can lift the top up and press the other button and pull it out. You'll see when you're there. Fortunately, I just tightened these back down. This is on reinstallation. There's also a white thing that connects the whole wiring harness to the white bracket. You just remove that. That's not anything tough. So I trust you can figure it out. Let's see if I can't get you a shot. There they are. So this yellow one at the top of the screen, that one is just you pinch them together and pull them out. The green one, you have to lift up the arms that's towards the middle of the screen, and on the other side you lift it up and then you pull it out. Then right back here, where if you go straight to that white connector, that thing's holding on to the white bracket. And the yellow connector that's behind all that is the airbag connector. That one's the one you can pull forward, as in this way, out this way. So start here and go this way. And then you can more easily remove the airbag connector. When you're doing that, actually when you're doing all of this, you need to make sure that the ground strap on the battery is disconnected. So your battery is disconnected and your car is all undone. And then as you're doing the airbag one, for sure, you want to make sure that some part of you is touching the metal parts of the car so that you're grounded and you don't shock the system and set off the airbag. Also, do not reattach the ground strap of the car to the battery or attempt to start the car while the airbag is unattached unless you want an airbag fault code to appear. But if you don't do that and you plug this all back together without putting power back to the car, there should be no airbag fault. just wanted to show you, this is the piece of trim that's towards the middle of the car, the medial piece of trim. That is the front of the piece of trim, so you can see it's got a little bit of a hook in there. So you're going to want to kind of lift it up and then pull it out. And then when you're going in the rear, it's going to be the same. And back here, there's a hook that will snap down. And of course, there's the bolt hole. So the whole thing would look like this in your car. Yeah, and then the other side here, right here's the stops on the back, but there's no, or if there was, it broke off, kind of clips or anything, except for up here, where you can see it's kind of a rocker kind of a deal. So you're going to want to stick the front edge of the metal up there into that, and then lower it down onto the, and then, you know, lower the back down before you screw it in. Or as you're pulling it out, you would lift up the backs and then move them out. So remove the trim. First got to remove this. There's a screw under it. Then you can pull this off and kind of work it out on the side, and then there's another screw under it, and that allows you to pull this side off. Once you get that off, you can then get to the seat and you can start on working the leather. I guess that's not entirely true. On this side, in order to get this off, this is a manual seat. There are two screws for the height adjustment bar that are under here. They're the T25 Torx bits. And then, of course, you've got your backrest adjustment knob. Backrest adjustment knob looks like this. In order to not break it, you need to pull this down. So this sits in here. It's hard to reset it with one hand. Sits in here kind of like this. The black tabs sit in the middle of these gray tabs. So you get a screwdriver under there, under one of these gear teeth, and you pull down that side of the black ring. Then you carefully get in there and you put a screwdriver and you push out on these teeth so that they unlatch from the metal gear that's over there. And then you can pull it off without breaking any of them. And then installation is going to be tricky reverse of the removal. So there it is with the cap off. You'll notice that these gear teeth are different. This is where the what's it called sits, the plastic teeth. So in order to reinsert this, I'm going to have this black ring be out a little bit, and then I'm going to line up these teeth, and I'm going to push it on. So once you get the seat adjustment knob off, you can start working this plastic off. It sits up under here. You pull down, and this will be sitting over here. And it's pretty self-explanatory until you get to the back. Or even then, it's kind of self-explanatory. I want to show you the clips here. These are hooked on the back around the metal. So if you want to get them off, you need to, say they're on the underside, so you gotta go, you gotta turn it like this and then pull it off. Also on the driver's side, or on the door side at least, there's this thing right here. And it sits in this location down here, and you just gotta take like a plier or something and squeeze these two pieces of plastic together. See where there's the crack? There's a hole, there's room to squeeze it. Squeeze those together and then you can pull them out. So we've got the trim off here. I wanted to show you something here before we start working on this stuff. Back here on these corners, you can see that this leather is pulled down kind of over the corner. Make sure that during reinstallation, you go back there and double check that you've got that pulled down. What I've found is after you complete this whole video and you're trying to go reinstall, it's easiest to reinstall back here first with this ledge, and you push it down and it snaps in. So when you remove it, if you have enough slack, you can pull it off and snap it out and then flip it out. This is, you start here, you work it off, you kind of snap it out and then flip it over, work your way around. So if during reinstallation you'd have this first and then this, and then you'd go back and you check your corners just to make sure they're all in there. And then you put all your wires back together correctly. Obviously, during removal, you want to remove all these wires first, and then you'll start up here. You work your way around, and you go to the back, work that off, and work the whole seat out. It helps a lot if when you get this front part off, you don't, and you push the cushion back towards the back to give yourself some more seat cover to work with back here when you need to try to flip it over. It helps if you try to keep this cushion forward a little bit, but you can't pull on them too much because they're connected. So to remove the seat cushion here, you got the seat out. You unhooked all your connectors. Unthread them too from these things. Just mind your connectors. Also got to remove the green one from its location in the in this white thing. To do that, you just use a screwdriver to move this side and this one out, and you just push it out. Then you just have these things loose. Like I said, you start over here, back here where it's not hooked, and you just unhook it, and you start peeling it off. And it'll look like this. The bottom edge of this is this part right here is plastic, and it's got a big hook that hooks onto this part. The other upper side hooks onto these little thingies. Keep it from going anywhere. So you got to start the sides, and then you work your way around. Just using a flathead screwdriver, or maybe you want to coat it in tape or something so you're not wrecking your leather or anything. So that's how you do it. And obviously installation is reverse of the removal. For installation, you're going to want to fold it like this and then just kind of push it down and let it latch itself. As when you're pulling this off, as soon as you get it off, you want to flip it the other way. You want to flip this inside out so it doesn't relatch itself, you know. So as you can see, maybe not see, this towards the bottom of the picture, the plastic ledge is a bigger hook, and then on the upper side there's not as big of a hook. You'll see it on your replacement seat cover. You'll see what I'm talking about.